So I'm still trying to understand as a people. I get it. We go through so much where we're in an industry where we run everything. We run sports. We run everything. Culturally we do, but we own nothing. But at the same time, we're becoming too sensitive where the moment that it seems like somebody that doesn't look like us is doing something and making more money off of it than we are, that's appropriating. And that's not appropriate.
I hate Bruno Mars because he's appropriating black culture.
I love Bruno Mars because he's not. He got the sauce.
Where did he get the sauce from? Black people. And he is not black. Maybe he's Puerto Rican, Filipino, he's ethnic, he's a minority, but he is not black.
Queen, you read my shirt? It says stay woke. How can he not be when he's part of the diaspora? Second of all, Queen, do you hear what he said at the Grammys? He literally gave props to everyone. He said babyface. He said he gave it to Teddy Riley and all them already. So there's a difference of misappropriating and you're saying, I got it myself and I got the sauce. But he gave props to everyone. And even the sound that he had, it sounded like back then, but he's on his stage. He said all the songs that I had were written by Babyface, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis. And you had Teddy Riley on there. So I'm still trying to understand how is he doing that?
Well, his lineage may have an African connection to it, as we mostly all do, but his household, his upbringing was not black. And as like reading about his first two albums and things like that, his whole doo-wop, which yes, you can kind of say that came from black culture too, but his pompadour, his straight hair and everything like that, but not until he came out with this album did he start dressing more like, hip hop culture or black culture, whatever. His hair, started wearing his curly hair and things like that. So to me, when you want to appeal to something else and whatever else was not working for you before and you want to switch it up, yes, he was a little bit successful, but this catapulted him into like, bam.
Well, even if you do go bam at the same time, guess what he did? He brought out good music. I genuinely feel like we're at a time where there's so much racist stuff going on. We want to put the tag on everything. Yes, we own what we own. But at the same time, when Daly made music and he's from London, nobody even saw what he looked like. They just loved the music. So when you found out it was a redhead white guy that was from London, you were like, man, that's soul. Same thing with Justin Timberlake. When everybody was suit and tie, what did they say? So is that that's another person? I'll let you even get the sauce on that. I thought you was gonna blow the horn. I was waiting for the horn to blow.
Not yet, because I feel like I might have to blow that horn.
Go ahead.
But we want to use Justin Timberlake, but like we said, cultural appropriation, you also have to be sensitive to the culture. And when you make a comment, when someone's coming at you about cultural appropriating, you make a comment like, well, once we all know that we're all alike, then we can have a conversation and all lives matter type of stuff. No, you're not part of the culture because you don't relate and you want to say all lives matter when that's not the case. So just on that Justin Timberlake part, I just had to get that out. So now, back to Bruno. So you're saying when you mentioned Daly and we didn't really know what he looked like, we just heard his sound. But back to what I was saying, okay, if it was only Bruno's sound, but it's his look as well. He's playing that up as well. If he didn't change his style, maybe I would feel a little bit differently. You know what I mean? If I hadn't read about his label being like, okay, let's push to a different direction, and this is the direction you want to go in, maybe I would feel differently. And yes, he paid homage to the people in the past and current African-American artists and everything like that, but he's still using his look to his advantage to take a part of black culture.
I'm gonna let you tap that first before I jump in. So you trying to tell me right now, because where he was raised, where his family put him in, where his family had him, what his environment was, the sounds that he was hearing is affecting him being part of the culture? Again, so if he grew up in Compton or right here in LA and he had the same race, had the same thing, and made the same music, would you be saying that?
I would be on the fence. I'm going to be honest with you. I would be on the fence if he always kind of had that persona. If he always had that, but he hasn't always had this. Your first few albums, you wanted your hair to be straight. Now your hair is kinky curly. So that's what I have to say about that one.
But at the same time, does it matter if he evolves? I don't get it. Is the sound supposed to stay the same? If Beyonce was still doing whatever it is, now she on lemonade. That's what she drinking. So what? I don't get it. Everybody was tripping with that? No, nobody is. But because of what he looks like, The voice doesn't have anything to do with that. When Robin Thicke came out with the evolution of Robin Thicke, you heard it before you saw him and you loved it. So I'm still trying to understand as a people, I get it, we go through so much where we're in an industry where we run everything. We run sports, we run everything. Culturally we do, but we own nothing. But at the same time, we're becoming too sensitive where the moment that it seems like somebody that doesn't look like us is doing something and making more money off of it than we are, that's appropriating. And that's not appropriate. It's no way that can be appropriate at all.
It's a problem that they're able to make more money, that this genre of music, R&B and things like that, was starting to die out, and then others can come up and make it popular again, but yet these African-American artists in that category are still struggling. Like, you haven't had a black artist win Album of the Year in almost like 10 years, maybe even more. You've had Kanye up, you've had Jay-Z up, you've had Beyoncé up. What is the difference? Why didn't their albums win? And the thing is, the industry, we have a strong buying power as black people, but at the same time, for the majority of things are still kind of ran by white men. And
I'm sorry, I don't even want to believe in that. So, and at the same time, give me that.
Okay.
So, number one, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Okay.
Bruno Mars has already passed Justin Timberlake with the singles that he's had on the chart. So I don't care if at the end of the day, he's R&B singer, didn't get a chance. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And he was chopping, he was on the top the whole time. So even worse, there's a difference if we're gonna call it appropriating if it was a team of white writers, a team of white producers. No, we're talking about a group of black guys that are from out here in LA too, that heard a sound and they sat in the studio. So the fact that he looks like he's mixed with something else that's other, so he might have filled out other on the SAT, but still, the music sounds good.
Yeah.
Just sit and enjoy it. And because he made as much money or the accolades that he did, as an artist and as an actor or whatever it is, don't hate, just get better. How can you hate on a man that grinded? Everybody making it sound like he wasn't dealing with hip hop when he had the song with B.O.B. Was that a problem? Was he appropriating then? Or was it because it was about planes? Or is it because you want him to sing about pianos? Or you want him to still sing about when I lost? Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It didn't even make a noise.
It wasn't mine.
The two people you just named were non-black in that category. To me, I feel like proving my point that we are struggling in our own categories to be popular and make the money. And I feel like white people like things that are black adjacent. You know what I mean? Like if you're non-black, you can doing the black things, you will be more popular than an actual black person in that category doing the same thing.
Nothing about Bruno Mars, of what he's done, from the writers, from the music that he's brought out, from the people that he's worked with, has shown any type of appropriation. First of all, can you tell me a feature that he's done with somebody that looks like a Caucasian descent?
No, I can't right now, but that's okay.
Cool.
So listen. But Bruno is doing like the same thing. You come out with a different style and then you want to turn it around and you want to use your look to its advantage. That is just, to me, that's a culture appropriating. And the thing is, the definition is if you take, it's a majority taking from the minority. Now, Bruno is not the minority, but he is, I feel like his pockets and everything like that, he's trying to get the money from the majority. And then that is culture appropriating. When you want to use the minorities, culture, everything about it, to come up on your own, but you're doing it for the majority. Here, go ahead.
Sorry, it was my turn. So again, at the same time of you saying everything that you're saying, if the music was trash, would we be even talking about it? Not at all. And the reason why it has to be good, and it's always gonna be a hater to say it, is when it's good, the sauce tastes good. Again, you can't hate on the ingredients that I use. And again, not only that, a lot of people who hate on him are people that don't know the ingredients, but they want the sauce. The sauce ain't for everybody. And if it ain't your time, it ain't your time. When Beyoncé came out with Formation, guess what? People was like, what is that? What is that? I like this new trap sound. But guess what happened when she went to the CMTs? Why is she here? Why do we want her here? Cool. Now they try to say that she's appropriate. And I said, nah, how? She's trying a different sound. Why can't we try different things? Oh, you want it to just be one lane?
One song compared to a whole album? I don't think that there's a comparison. So sometimes people want to branch out and do different things. One song, and then like you said, like everyone has a sauce, but when you take my ingredients to make your sauce and try to claim it as your own, now we're going to have a problem because that's my sauce. I created that.
Okay.
Use your own sauce. It's my sauce.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Queen, but at the same time, really, who wants to stay the same? And not only who wants to stay the same, I don't get how you can expand in sound. Would we be talking about Jay-Z if he was still talking about the same stuff he talked about on Reasonable Doubt? I still don't get it. We still want to appropriate, say that this is appropriation, but for what? because he did something that not a lot of people can do, because he knocked out a couple number ones back to back, it's good music. Again, if you were in college and you type a paper up, what do you have to do to prove your point? You have to put where you got cite your sources. And what did he do at the point where he got a letter A, which was a Grammy? He cited his source, and he said what? I listened to Babyface. I listened to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Everybody that's influenced them. But every other R&B artist like Usher can say the same thing, but him, he can't? I just don't. Help me.
Yeah, no, he can't. Because I appreciate that, thank you. But you're still using, like I said, the same point. Like, you are still using your look, your racial ambiguity to use it for your benefit. And just because you acknowledge those people does not mean that you are taking from the culture. I'm sorry, like you started off, we started first seeing him as, you know, imitating Elvis and things like that. The man's name is Peter Hernandez, okay?
You still going back to me saying, okay, MGK. If you sit there and say Machine Gun Kelly, never has he come out saying that he wasn't influenced by anybody else. When you look at Eminem, nobody says anything else about him doing that. One, because at the end of the day, the talent is there. It don't matter. If we go to sports now, I'm sorry to go this way, but it'd be dope if you knew. All right, so I'll make a reference. White chocolate. White chocolate. At the end of the day, nobody was saying that, oh, he trying to play like a black. No, I got sauce, I can hoop. That's the difference. If you can't get on the court and hoop, don't complain. That's the one thing about a sport like basketball, music, which can coincide. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can't rap, it ain't for you. If you can't shoot, it ain't for you. So again, figure out what you're good at, but don't hate on me because I can drop 40 on you on the drop of a dime. If you want to learn, build with me. I guarantee the people that sat there and started this whole appropriation thing are haters that don't have that, not even a Grammy nod. He been getting Grammy nods. Not only that, his pen game crazy. I mean, you can double it up what you want. Let's go.
So he's been getting nominations, but his consecutive wins, did not happen until 24 Karat Gold. He had about one or two before that. After that, it was boom, 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 win, win, win. After what happened? You want to fill in the blanks? No, you can't.
I won't go now. So I wish I had like a fact checker where I could be like, how many did he have before? Because in one night, I believe, and let me get my facts straight. And one night he won 9 or something like that. But before he's already had at least 5. So we're not talking about this is his first time up ever. He already got his numbers. Again, we can go back to the sports reference. No matter what, the people that are haters that are talking, if we look at Charles Barkley, he hates on everybody. Mm-hmm. But guess what? When the champions dinners happen, guess who's not invited?
What was your point there?
Saying that, again, the people who hate on him that don't even have a Grammy nod, they're going to continue hating. But when there's a Grammy party, guess who can come? Because he has one.
But the thing is, too, like, and I feel like you mentioned earlier that we're sensitive. And sometimes I feel like we have to be sensitive. Sometimes we have to stay sensitive. Because if we get too comfortable, we get too cool thinking that it's a new day, we get slapped in the face. And the thing is, with our history in music, it has been stolen over and over and over again to put a face that is easy to sell versus a more of an African-American face, more of a darker complexion, more of that. If you're lighter or whatever, you're going to
I wish I could go with you on this one, but at the same time, go ahead, tap that for me. Yeah, let me get that. We can talk about that, but if we were in the civil rights time, that's different. We in a digital age, so it's up to you for what you want. If you want to get your music out there, go ahead and do it. So I'm not really going to subscribe to what you're saying about they've been doing it over and over. Because now the independent hustle is how you win. And not only that, he runs his squad. He keeps his circle together. So who is he appropriating from? The black guys that he writes with? Who? It's a difference if his team was a group of white guys and the producer was a white guy. Cool, that's different. But it's a group of black brothers that are around this brother to make the music. Again, he's an artist. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm still trying to see how you want to say he's appropriating because he's taking from, but he's adding to because he's making you step your game up with music. Why? When you go to a concert, and I think culturally that's our problem now. We're so worried about race, but again, the thing that brings people together is music. Music is the only thing that right now I could sit there and look at a white man that might be a racist during the day, a young dude. But if we go to a Future concert, guess what happens? 2 women who might be white woman, black woman, might not even speak to each other, might be in the parking lot looking at each other. I don't care, this, that, and the third. But the moment 24 Karat come on, guess what they're singing at the concert? So we talking about appropriation, but music is music. Nobody said anything to Michael Jackson. He went pop. They was like, oh, he went pop this and no, music is music. If it's good, it's good. The sample that's on 444, that sample, you like I hit that note. Yo, she was a white woman. So, I mean, I don't get it. The same thing you bobbing your head to every day. Now what?
So here, my final thoughts is, I'm gonna stay sensitive.
You can listen
like I'm a deacon. You can dance and sing with your enemies, but I don't want to. I want to know who's who, face value, right up front. And I do feel like he's appropriating the culture. He took from it, just like at the NFL, you have a lot of black players, but the head people in charge are the white people pulling the strings and calling the shots. And they call for him to make this move. So that's appropriating.
Well, for me, I feel like he's not appropriating because even if you do use that example as the NFL, which is a whole different thing, at the end of the day, his peers made that decision. His peers. So as much as you may say whites individuals, there's a peer of people on this Grammy committee. And worse enough, there are individuals who complain about the Grammys, but don't sign up to join to make that vote. So at the end of the day, if his album didn't sell plat only, if he didn't make all those number ones, then I'd let you have the sauce. But at the end of the day, number one is number one. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And what you're saying about him appropriating culture, there's no way that can be appropriate. Just let the man win and enjoy.
Well, I guess we just have to agree to disagree.
It is what it is.
What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.